And because our next guest is a horse racing freak as well as lead analyst for TNT on the NHL, Eddie Olczyk, I am going to start, sir, with you with a kind of an analogy to horse racing with the Carolina Hurricanes. First, how are you?
Hi, Adam.
Did you just whinny?
No, that was Johnny Forsland in the background. So, yeah.
I know him very well.
Of course, I got to take a shot at the great John Forsland.
No, it's quite all right. You guys spend a lot of time with one another. So
yes, we do.
My analogy is, I think that the Hurricanes are going to be in many ways similar to journalism at the Preakness. They're going to have to fight through it, and then maybe they can catch Florida at the wire like journalism did. So your thoughts on that?
Well, first off, thanks for having me, Adam. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, this is a different – we talked about it on our TNT broadcast, working with Kenny Albert and Brian Boucher and Jackie Redmond. This is a different animal in these playoffs. It's not the Devils, not the Capitals.
Yep.
It's the defending Stanley Cup champions, but even stylistically and the depth and the size and the urgency and the goaltender and the physicality, and then also, Florida wants, you want to play an 8-7 game, they'll love to do that. They can play that. If you want to play 2-1 or you want to play a punch them in the mouth, I mean, they're going to be first in line in that type of game. So I think for the Canes, I thought that, they came out and I think that they drew a line in the sand and they were really physical. And I think that they ran out of position. I shouldn't say run out of position. I think that they took some runs at some guys physically, which is fine, which is A-okay. But I don't think that that's how one of the top coaches in the league, and Rod brind'amour, has gotten his team to be as predictable and as good and as stylistically that they play. Like, if the hits are there, you want your guys that are physical to go ahead and bang people and get in people's way and whatever. But it just felt from up top, watching the press box, that there were times where I think you could have maybe, I want to say, played a little bit more, but don't worry about the physicality. Just use your legs, use your money makers to get in on the forecheck and play that type of game to your strength. So, because I think that feeds right into Florida if you're going to try to run around, and I don't think that that's how this team has been built, whether it was the legendary Ron Francis in charge and having a strong, fingerprint on this organization all these years later, or now with Eric Tolsky and the entire organization, is that you have to play to your identity. And I think at times early the other night, I think that it played into the hands of the Florida Panthers. And then as the game went on, the Canes got to their game and had some chances and kept Florida off the shot clock for a long period of time. So you're going to have potholes, you're going to have adversity, you're going to have horses in front of you, and you're just going to have to fight your way through it and hope that one of your big time players can make a big time play at the key time and get a save. And that's what hockey is. And I think for Carolina, I think the analogy is very fair with the trip that journalism had in the Preakness. You could say the other night was very similar, and they weren't able to find the wire first, but they are the favorite in this game tonight, and I would expect them to come with a big push and give their best, put their best skate forward. And look, it might not be good enough, Adam. It just might not. I mean, this is playoff hockey, and right now Florida's got it going on, and the guy in goal for them is seeing it. And after a really slow start in the last round against Toronto,
he didn't. By the way, Sergei Bobrovsky didn't even need a stick to make the best save of the game. I thought the best save of the game was on Roslovic in the slot at 3-1.
Yeah,
I think right.
And we said on the broadcast, Adam, is that where he was. I wasn't at the skate this morning. I would be interesting to know if did Jack know that Bob didn't have the stick? I don't think he did, to be honest with you, because because I said on the broadcast, I know where I'm shooting that. If I'm in that prime area, I know where I'm going with that puck. If the goaltender doesn't have the stick in his hand and where he was positioned, right? Like I'm worm burning in that. I think I use the terminology of a worm burner. Like you're sitting there and you're firing that thing as hard as you can, as low as you can. So you're right. He didn't need a stick on that save, and it was a timely save, a tremendous save, but the Canes did create that chance and just weren't able to capitalize. Eddie
Olczyk is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I appreciate you running with the Preakness analogy. I know that's wheelhouse for you, and I'm totally on board with it. You and I have spoken about horse racing before. Rod Brind'amour told me today. He said, there's all of these narratives going around about the Carolina Hurricanes, but he said today that he thinks Florida essentially plays a very similar way to Carolina. They just do it better, maybe with better players. I'm saying that, not him, but that Florida plays Carolina's game maybe better than Carolina does.
Yeah, I mean they do play similar styles, but I would look at Florida, and again, all due respect to Roddy, I look at Florida being a way more physical team.
They are
than Carolina. So that to me is where I think it stops and it starts, Adam, when it comes to style and those type of things. And look at sometimes the puck is optional for a few guys on Florida.
Yeah.
So you know what they're looking to do. I mean, they're looking to put somebody into the fourth or fifth row, but they do it all year long, Adam. It's not just like all of a sudden, we're going to get in the first round of the playoffs and we're going to try to play this way. Because if you're not conditioned to play that way, you're going to fall apart. That's just, it's like a team. I guess I'm about analogies on your show here today, but it's like in football. Like if you have a team that just absolutely throws, and then all of a sudden they're going to come out of the chute and they're going to, we're going to run, pound the ball. Like that's a hard game.
Yeah.
And if you're not, I'm not saying it's not a part of their DNA, that being the Canes, but if you try to do that for long, sustained periods of time and you're not used to it, it's hard. Or if you want to play a run and gun type of game, like if you're not in tune to that, I heard you play the clip with the Knicks and Pacers, and I was watching both games last night. I couldn't believe what I was seeing at the Garden. But it's like, for the Knicks, like if you're going to play that up and down transitional type of game, that feeds right into the Pacers. That's just, they want to play that way. They want to put up 140 points. So I just think that. They do play similar styles, the Panthers and the Canes, but at the end of the day, the physicality part, I think the Canes got to be much more selective in the physical play and, who can make a play. And that's what it comes down to in playoff hockey.
Final thing before we let Eddie Olczyk go, and I appreciate your time. TNT has the game tonight, Game 2. We all want the Hurricanes to win this game, so we know that you and everybody else will be back here on Wednesday because we this is paradise. Sebastian Aho had that chance 2-on-1 early on. He chose to pass instead of shoot. I think all of us believe he should have shot it because there wasn't really a pass through. But is it him? Is it Andrei Svechnikov? Who are you looking for tonight to be the guy to finally get over the hump and beat Florida in a conference final game?
The only thing I would say on a 2-on-1, Adam, is that look at the guy's an unbelievable two-way player. If he would have made the pass right away at the blue line, it would have been the perfect play. But again, he waited a little bit too long, and look, it sometimes happens. I think it was Mikkola that slid over and got the glove on it. He's the driver. I mean, I would say that it's him. He's the driver of that team, of his line. Svechnikov does have the ability with the physicality and stuff. I think he's got to just go up and down when bodies are there. Go ahead, take a piece of somebody. Go to that net, hang around a little bit more. You can't be on the outside. Like when in the playoff hockey, you got to get inside the dots and stop and stay and just go stand in front of the net every once in a while. But to me, I think it's Aho, without a doubt, because he's that type of player. And and that's why he is who he is. But this is a different time, different team. In the playoffs, you got to find a way to get it done, regardless if it's how much you're getting, whether it's even strength or power play.
Yeah, and we all we want the Hurricanes to be playing all the way through the Belmont Stakes. Eddie Olczyk, TNT, NHL lead analyst, sir. I'll see you up on the 5th floor later on. I appreciate your time. Tell John Forsland we said hi.
I will do that. See you, Adam.
All right, Eddie Olczyk here on the Adam Gold Show.